Part of the meeting of the Township of Lopatcong Township Council, today being November 1st, 2017. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times, and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Take a moment for silent contemplation or prayer. Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Beth, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Councilman Leo.
Here.
Councilman Belcarro.
Here.
Councilman Wright.
Here.
Council President Fryer.
Here.
Here. I'll take a resolution to come out of executive session.
I'll make the resolution.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Council was in executive session for 1 hour and 5 minutes. The topics of discussion are some of the items listed on your agenda. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 7. We will go back into executive session at the end of the meeting. We didn't want to hold up the meeting, so we will have another executive session to finish the items that were not discussed and perhaps discuss some of the items that were already discussed. So the minutes from both executive sessions will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. We'll open the meeting for public comment on agenda items only. This is public comment on agenda items only. Have we any? I don't see or hear any, so we will close the public comment agenda items and move into old business. First item of old business, to approve the executive and regular session minutes for October 4th, 2017. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Toledo.
Yes.
Councilman Belcarro.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Council President Fryer.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
Yes. Next item, ordinance number 2017-07, which is the second reading and public hearing of the salary ordinance to establish ranges for certain job titles. Ask for a motion to go into public, open the public, to open to the public hearing. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, we have an ordinance that was presented first at the last meeting. And what it does is set forth certain maximums and minimums for several of the positions of employment here in the township. And I'm going to fish around to try to find if we have it. Yes. And has this been distributed? No, right?
The ordinance?
Yes, it's been advertised.
Yeah, and it's been advertised, but it's not here, in other words, my question.
It's
No.
in your packet. Is that what you meant?
No, you didn't put it up there, so people could follow.
I never put the ordinance up.
Okay.
It was advertised in the newspaper.
Oh, in the newspaper, yes, I know. All right, so this was advertised in the newspaper. Are there anyone who would like to make a comment or ask a question about this?
Just which one are you referring to? Which ordinance are you referring to on this?
2017-07.
Okay.
Okay, we have no comments. I'll take a motion to close the public.
Make a motion.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, we have to
Motion to adopt.
adopt it, right, so I'll take a motion to adopt the 2017-07 resolution, ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Toledo?
Yes.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Number 3, ordinance number 2017-09, first reading to amend Chapter 243 entitled Zoning and Land Use to create the MF2 multifamily age-restricted zone.
Council did first reading to this ordinance last meeting. It's not a typo, it is first reading again. There were some corrections that needed to be made in the original ordinance. For example, the block and lot of the property that was being rezoned was not listed. There was need for a reference that the zoning map needs to be changed, and there was one other item regarding affordable housing that your planner recommended. So in light of those changes, we made those changes and brought it back to you, and it requires first reading again, and second reading and public hearing will be in December, and it will be at the planning board at the end of this month.
Okay. So we need to do
Just need
nothing
a
else.
motion to introduce.
Right. All right, I'll ask for the motion to introduce.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, new business. Authorized proposal submitted by Nisvosia to convert existing website to a new content management system. The cost is $3,000. I believe this is to, that our website has fallen behind, it's not as modern and as appropriate as it should be, and it's time to move along with it, so.
Actually, the software that supports it is obsolete, and so we're going to move it to a new, actually it's called WordPress, so that's what's going to be happening.
I have one question. Bernie left. Do we have this in the budget
Yes,
feature?
I can check. We get budget for it for this year.
It's been discussed for a long time. Do I have a motion to authorize this
Motion.
expenditure? Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion? Okay, since it involves money, roll call, please.
Councilman Toledo?
Yes.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Resolution number 17134, recognizing the Lopatcong Athletic Association is no
No,
longer...
we're on number 2. That's,
What?
Number two.
Council to authorize improvement work on the South 6th Street.
Yes, Mayor. The council had adopted a capital budget earlier this year to do certain road improvements. One of the roads that was projected to be done was South 6th Street, and this would be from Baltimore Street to Edward Street. In order for me to get the contractor in here to do that work concurrent with the South 2nd Street paving work, the council needs to grant an authorization tonight that will allow Bernie to secure the monies from that capital ordinance for the project. I've recommended to Mr. Ray that he secure $60,000 to do that, and that would include the soft cost as well. I think it's actually a very conservative budget. I think we can do that for less than that, but nevertheless, I think we should have a budget of $60,000 to address anything unforeseen that may come up.
And,
Thank you, Paul.
Paul, this is no curbing. This is just mill and overlay. Give them a nice road surface.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take a motion to approve this work improvement on South 2nd Street.
No, I'm sorry. This is South 6th Street.
What'd I say?
South 2nd.
No, it's in concurrent with South 2nd, but this is South 6th, yes. Thank you for the correction. Do I have a motion?
I'll make.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Toledo?
Yes.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Now,
Hey, can I just comment on that so people understand? We've paved 7 roads in Morris Park. We have 3 to go. 4th, 5th, and 6th. 6th is now a through street to Delaware Crossing. It's getting a lot more traffic. It's got a lot of potholes. And the thought was to just clean that up and make it a more rideable street.
Thank you. Resolution number 17134, reorganizing the Lopatcong Athletic Association, recognizing the Lopatcong Athletic Association is no longer an entity of the township and therefore has obtained its own insurance for their organization. Okay, do I have a motion to recognize that?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Now, this has been checked by your office, Katrina, and they have appropriate documents?
You can check for your insurance company, your risk
But,
manager.
okay.
And this actual resolution was sent to statewide, and they signed off on the language as well.
Okay, very good. So we have a motion, and we have a second. Can we have a roll call?
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Delcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Fire?
Yes.
Mayor McKellar?
Yes, ordinance number 2017-10, first reading to rescind ordinance number 1997.03, which established the Lopatcong Athletic Association.
So in 1997, the township brought the Lopatcong Athletic Association under its umbrella, and it was an entity of the township. So at the recommendation of your insurance company, although you did a resolution in 2015, which designated the soon-to-be-created nonprofit athletic association, Lopatcong Athletic Association, and designated them the official athletic association of the Township of Lopatcong. You did that in 2015. The contract wasn't signed yet, so it was just saying we support, we know it's going to happen, we'll enter a contract with them. It was this is going to happen. So now that it has happened and the contract has been signed and everything is completed, you need to rescind the 1997 ordinance that said they were a part of your organization. So that's what this does.
Okay. Do I have a motion? We just have to,
You want to make it?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
okay. Roll call, please.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Delcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Fire?
Yes.
Yes, we move to the consent agenda. You have all had an opportunity, I suspect, to look at the consent agenda. If not, I'll give you a couple of minutes. Okay, I have a question on number 6. The transfer of appropriations within the 2017 budget during the last 2 months of the year. As I recall, there's usually a chart that shows what goes from what to where. I do not see the chart.
Right here.
Oh, it's so small. That's the chart?
Only 3 transfers
Oh, okay.
So far.
Well, it's only November 1st today.
Right, but what are we doing here? Are we in advance of transfers, authorizing all transfers to be made? Usually we authorize the transfers
This is what
after
you're
having
doing.
this.
What's on this list, these 3.
These are the only ones that
is
are
what you're
authorized?
authorizing,
Okay.
yes.
Then we all understand that on the council?
Why it's in writing.
Yes. Good. Okay, this includes about $7,000 of funds being switched from one account to another at the end of the year because there was some left over in some accounts and other accounts need a little. It's a small amount. I'd ask for a motion to approve this consent agenda. 7 items.
I'll make that motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Delcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Fire?
Yes.
Mayor McKellar?
Yes, moving on to council reports.
Can I interrupt for a second, please? Mayor, what we discussed in closed session, it's in the package, is R17, nothing. It was the resolution to establish pay rates. Are we going to do that tonight?
You can?
Yes, we are.
You just gotta give it a number, so it'll be R17-134, correct, Beth?
Yes.
Can we give it a number and introduce that motion?
All right, that was the one item. This one?
No,
No.
pay rates.
Oh, the rates, all right, that's the entire thing, okay. Okay, there's a motion, we need a motion to approve the, I don't have the, I can't, what it's called. Does it have a name?
Well, we're gonna call it
Yes, 17-134, what's its name?
134 is the LAA.
Oh, is it, oh, sorry.
Oh.
It'll be 135.
Thank you,
Thank you for that.
You're right, thank you.
out of order.
You're right.
No, they would be because it came in late.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
This is what you speak of?
Upstairs.
Yes.
Okay. So this is known as Resolution to Establish Pay Rates for Municipal Employees for the year 2017, now also known as Resolution 1735. 17-135. We appreciate that edification. Do I have a motion for approval of this?
Would anyone care for me to present it first, rather than just do it during discussion?
Well, we thought we were doing discussion, but if you want to present it, go on.
All right. Our 2017 budget was adopted on June 7th, 2017, included a 2% raise, 2% for raises for township employees. The administrative employees have not gotten a raise since 2012, been passed over for a series of years due to budget issues. Public Works, which had been operating under a 3-year employment agreement, that agreement expired on December 31st, 2016, and they have not gotten a raise this year. At the June 7th meeting, we authorized Jersey Professional Management to begin work on a comprehensive compensation plan for our employees. This was going to be a study seeing how we stacked up against other towns, looking at job descriptions and making some global recommendations as to compensation. We had withheld actually dispensing the raise or authorizing the 2% raise in hopes that we would get a look at this plan first. There's been unforeseen delays. The plan is not here. The year is coming to an end. With the year rapidly coming to a close, we didn't want to see the administrative employees go another year without a raise, and we didn't want to see Public Works work without a contract for another year. It was felt that a 2% across the board raise, retroactive to the beginning of the year, would be fair. Not everyone is included. Some new employees that just came on board are not included. The police who work under their own contract are not included. Certain positions were excluded. Planning board secretary works under a contract. And the administrator portion of the clerk administrator's salary was not included. Everyone else will get 2% across the board. So that's the proposal. We see it as kind of a placeholder. This plan should come in next year. We'll revisit our salary structure based on this study. And next year's action could be anything from an adjustment of our pay structure to incremental raises to zero. Depends on the outcome of the study. But being that the administrative employees have been so patient since 2012, we just felt 2% is not unreasonable. So that's what this ordinance does.
Okay, and I take it then that you are making a Motion that we approve.
I will make this motion to adopt
Do I have a
this.
second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes, Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Councilman Belcarra? Yes. Councilman Wright?
Yes.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. All right, now we go to council reports. Mr. Wright?
Really don't have anything. The only thing I can say is I sat in on the environmental board meeting last month, and I wish Juniper was here because they really have a good group of people. I just want to let people know that. They really were excited about their roles on that board, and we don't get enough reports about that. I wish we would, but they did a real good job, and I would like her to know that I thought that about that meeting. That's about it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, she does. She presents a written report annually
Where is that done?
to the council.
I think we're supposed to get a monthly report.
Yeah, you're the liaison.
I am the liaison. Am I? Well, I guess I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I didn't attend the last meeting.
No, it was very good, I gotta say.
Mr. Wright covered it for us. Report of Paul, the engineer. Oh, no, I'm still
Don't
on
you want the
council.
rest of the council?
Yeah, I guess I do. Mr. Polito?
Thank you. I just have one item regarding, from Board of Ed, there's going to be an anti-bullying parent workshop on November 13th at the middle school.
Okay, thank you. Lou?
Yeah, I just have one thing on Stonehenge. The force main replacement has been completed. So in a few weeks, they'll pave that. They just want to make sure that the trench part of it is settled, this way you don't have any sinkholes and the new asphalt collapsing. So a few more weeks, Stonehenge will be smoothed out. That is my report for today.
Okay, Mr. Pryor?
Just two things. I am the liaison to the LAA, and you saw these two resolutions tonight, how they are finally independent. They have reformed as what they call a 501c3. It's essentially a tax-free charitable organization. They solicit donations. If you make a donation to them, you can deduct it now on your income tax, which you couldn't before. Maybe people did, but they shouldn't have. But now it's official, so if you choose to support Community Day or anything that they participate in, now Community Day is partially done by the Rec Committee. LAA does participate, so any donation to LAA is a legitimate deduction on your taxes going forward. That's what that means. The second thing is I got a letter from Phillipsburg Superintendent of Schools, Greg Troxel. He covers two issues. I'm gonna read the first paragraph, and then I'll just summarize the rest. Dear Council President Pryor, I will preface this letter with a comment regarding the opening of our new high school during the fall of 2016 and the treatment that all school district officials have received from Lopatcong Township. From police coverage to fire and emergency services, everything that the township has been able to provide has exceeded expectations. There is an outstanding cooperative spirit between and among the employees of the Phillipsburg School District and Lopatcong Township. I could not be more satisfied with how things have gone up to this point. So that's much appreciated from Mr. Troxel. Then he goes on to talk about some concern over the fact that we don't have a second access point. And that's not a new subject. That's probably been discussed as long as I've been coming to meetings. I'm not optimistic about the ability to come up with one, but he's looking to form a committee. I think there's probably a better chance of implementing an emergency ingress-egress than there is a full-time one. I owe him an answer. My thought would be to really call him first and talk to him and give him a little background since he's new in that position. And I would have a willingness for us to participate, although I want to make sure he understands that this is kind of an uphill based on past experience, it's kind of an uphill discussion.
Yeah, in the past, we had discussed maybe doing something through the park and going in the sideway to the high school grounds, whether that be vehicular or just for bicycles and pedestrians, so the students could walk through there, and then have an emergency gate in case the fire engines had to get through. But it is a good idea. I think it's something that should be discussed, and I would hope that the chief and others who are appropriate to the conversation are brought into it.
I think the discussion that Mr. Pryor is referring to is a discussion that happened before your tenure, perhaps. I believe this was a discussion with past council, and it was, I think Mr. Morrow was the attorney for the school board, so we're talking quite a long time ago. This was an emergency, a second route access, that this was...
Through what Rolane was mentioned, there were some other things
Yes,
discussed.
yes. So we may need to dig a little deeper than
Yeah.
just the bike path discussion that...
Doesn't Aqua have a road back there? Some kind of road? Right? I believe they do, yeah. So, okay.
You know, I don't know why this should have been planned out back in the inception of the plans, and why that was never I don't know if it was part of the discussion.
You're right, but it is what it is.
No, I know. But all of a
The
sudden...
SDA refused to pay for it.
What's that?
The SDA was refusing to pay for
What about the site work? Including the site work on the whole thing? Because the site work, you know, created the road.
them. They created the road, but putting in a second access road, they refused to pay for it.
It's like they refused to pay for the traffic light.
No, I understand that. Well, and fine, you know, and now here we are at past midnight. Now we're discussing putting another road in. You know, I think...
Yes, and the
Well, hindsight-
question is whether it goes on Aqua, whether it goes Lane.
Right.
I feel there is another way to do it that's on school property right now, and I mapped it out for George Shando and gave it to him probably 2.5, 3 years ago.
If we did
So-
you keep a copy?
Pardon?
Did you keep a copy?
Yeah,
Can I have one?
yeah.
Yeah, let's revisit that, you know?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Pryor.
I did have one question. We originally had the tree ordinance on here. Did it come off?
Yes, it did. I asked Beth to take it off because I was going to suggest
Okay.
something
Yeah.
to the council, and I wanted to meet with Paul first, and I haven't.
All right, next time.
Didn't get lost, I
Got it.
took it off.
Speaking of Paul,
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just two projects to review with you. On South 2nd Street, all the concrete work is done. So that puts us in a position of doing the milling and paving. I have met with Tilcon, and I did so this past Monday, so I'm trying to get the milling and paving work for both South 2nd Street and South 6th Street scheduled at this point. And my goal is to get those two roadways paved before Thanksgiving.
oh, great.
So I will keep you abreast of what's going on. I'm going to have to push Tilcon a little bit, but I think I'll be able to get this done before Thanksgiving. And then the other item is the Phillipsburg High School roadway improvement project, involved with two closeouts on that project. One is with the Department of Transportation. Your approval tonight of the final payment to Zucaro will allow me to move ahead and submit the paperwork to the Department of Transportation. We are still due $75,000 under our $300,000 grant for that project, so I'll be submitting that paperwork in now that we've made that final payment. We also have a closeout with the county. We want to relinquish the traffic signal to the county. The county is supposed to take over that traffic signal. I've given a tremendous amount of information and data to the county to support that. The county is reviewing that. Apparently, there's a few administrative items that they still feel need to be addressed. I've asked them to put that in writing. Waiting for the county engineer to give us a letter. But we did move a lot closer. A lot of information has been provided to them to do that.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So my report for the month of October is as follows. We had 1,037 logged incidents and activities throughout the month. We had crimes and offenses with arrests totaling 5. And then our traffic violations, moving 42 and non-moving are 66 for the month. Our crash report, our crash data has gone up a little bit this month. I think the main arteries going through towns is where we're seeing the majority of our accidents. I think also with school traffic and traffic coming through in the mornings, we're seeing a little bit more accidents than usual. Also, yesterday obviously was trick or treat. It went out without a hitch. We had plenty of kids out there. Emergency services did a great job keeping everybody safe on the streets. So it was a successful event. Our medication drop box is continuing to see a lot of customers. We're approaching over 100 pounds of medications already.
Wow.
That
That's
we're
great
able
to hear.
to get off the streets and dispose of them properly. So happy to report that.
You know, Chief, there's one thing I don't know if people notice, I didn't even notice when I showed up, they should rip their identification off the front before they put it in.
They should make every effort to do that.
Yeah.
However, if it isn't done, it is getting incinerated. It's not going to be, but it should be suggested, and I should try to take the labels off. Absolutely.
How many times have those bins been emptied?
We've had several times now. I think they're filling up on a regular basis. Yeah, at least 3 or 4 now.
Wow.
So it's getting plenty of use, and it's good use at that.
Yes, excellent. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll take a motion to approve the department reports.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Time to approve payment of bills. I think we have a total of $3,204,217.92 on the bills list. So I would ask for a motion to approve the bills list.
I ask this, I always do, the mayor's legal bills are not on here. I'll make a motion to approve the bills list.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Toledo?
Yes.
Councilman Del Caro? Councilman Ray? Council President Clark?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Yes. Let's see. We'll open for the audience participation.
I was in that last meeting, and I'm not too astute at how things go, but number 3, under old business, or the ordinance about the MF12 multifamily age restricted zone. Katrina, I have to ask you, because is that readable now by the public, or will it only be, it's,
Yeah.
can I, how do I get it? Oprah
Stop in
through,
tomorrow. That'll
just
give you
stop in?
copies.
Okay.
And actually, Mr.
Can't you
Betts,
access it?
if you go to the township's website right now, there are 3 links to the
Okay.
township's affordable housing litigation.
yes.
If you click the one that's entitled consent order with Larkin,
Okay,
the bulk of the ordinance
Yes.
is attached to that document.
okay, it's,
One or 2 little changes, but
Okay.
most
it's
of
in
what you
that,
need
I
to
have
see.
that, I looked at, I'm starting to look at that, I knew that.
It's an exhibit
Okay.
to the consent order.
Okay, thank you. And then the other thing is, I'd like to know about the satellite surveillance system that was put into effect the last year, the year before. How is that functioning? Is it working out in a positive fashion? It's not on the agenda or anything, but I was just wondering.
Satellite?
The surveillance for the high school and the malls.
The prosecutors presented that.
Oh.
Yeah, Chief, what is that program where you get the, you can look on your handhelds and you can see the schematics of the building?
GXP program.
Yeah, GXP.
And they continue to move forward with it. It's being implemented as we speak. There is training this past week for it, so it is moving forward, yeah.
Okay. And is it going to the county yet? You spoke a few months ago about it eventually going from the town, accepting it, and then going to the county?
It is now expanding countywide as we speak and being implemented. So.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Chief. Thank you, Council. Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't see any other questions. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
No,
Oh, no.
What? What'd I do? What'd I do?
we still have executive session.
Executive.
Oh. All right, I'll take a motion to come out of public session and go into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
The topics of discussion will definitely be number 7, number 6, number 4, potentially number 2 and number 1. And number 5 will not be discussed because that was on there in error. So, and I do expect action to be taken, so if you want to wait, if we take longer than half an hour, I will come out and give a report as to how long. But I don't think most of them have any great length, we just didn't get to them because the other ones had great length. So, if you'd like to wait and call, you're welcome to.
I need a second on that motion.
Second.
Second. Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye. Chief.
When you come,
Katrina will say it.
I'll,
Yeah, she'll say it.
Oh, you'll do it? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Motion to come out of closed session.
All right, who's the second on the motion?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Joe was the first, and who was the second?
Bill.
There are people here? Yeah. You want to let them know? Mike?
Give them a second. I think it's just Gary and Matt.
There were only 2 or 3
And
sitting.
Brian,
Yeah, Brian was there, I think.
of course.
And I guess Bill Wright will speak on that issue.
No, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, good. Thank you. We're almost there. Get there by 9.
Okay, we need a motion to approve the contract discussed in executive session.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I'll roll call Councilman Polito.
Yes.
Councilman Belcarro.
Yes.
Councilman Wright.
Yes.
Council President Fryer.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
Yes. Okay.
Now you can make a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn, please?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
We adjourn.
Yeah,